You're doing everything right. You still wake up at 2 a.m., wired. After 50, that is not a mystery. It's chemistry. Magnesium, melatonin, blue light glasses, a quiet bedroom, and you're still staring at the ceiling. There's one step in tonight's protocol I saved for last. It's the only one that lowers cortisol in under 10 minutes, and most people over 50 skip it. Here's the quiet problem nobody warns you about. After 50, the hormone that wakes you up stops shutting off at night. That wired but exhausted feeling. The 2 a.m. wake-up. The pounding heart before the alarm. It's not anxiety. It's not insomnia. It's one hormone running past its shift. It's called cortisol. And a 2024 replication of a Penn State study found that in adults over 50 with chronic sleep problems, cortisol at night runs up to 3 times higher than it should. And here's the part that hurts. You're not doing anything wrong. You've tried the supplements, you've tried the apps, you've probably tried earlier bedtimes and given up coffee. None of it worked, and somewhere in the back of your mind you started to believe this is just what getting older feels like. I watched my father hit this exact wall at 62, sharp his whole life, active. Then, slowly, he started fading. Tired by 3 p.m., waking at 2 a.m. Everyone around him said, "That's just aging." I didn't buy it, and when we fixed it, the fix wasn't in a bottle. It was in the order of the steps. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone, and it is not aging. It is chemistry you can change. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly what's happening inside your adrenal system after 50, and the 4-step nightly stack that shuts cortisol off so slow-wave sleep can come back. Cortisol is made by a 3-gland system called the HPA axis. Your brain tells your pituitary tells your adrenals, and your adrenals release cortisol. In a healthy system, this triggers in the morning to wake you up, then quietly shuts off at night. But here's what the research shows. After age 50, that curve flattens. Morning cortisol is lower. Evening cortisol is higher. The off switch on the system starts to rust. Scientists call it glucocorticoid negative feedback weakening, which is a long way of saying the brakes don't work the way they used to. And here's why it matters for sleep. Cortisol and melatonin are a seesaw. When one goes up, the other has to come down. After 50, the seesaw jams. Your melatonin gummy isn't broken. It just can't rise while cortisol is still in the room. And this is the insight most sleep content gets wrong. If your cortisol is high at 10 p.m., no dose of melatonin can override it. You are trying to close a door while someone is holding it open. There's a second mechanism, and it explains the tired but wired feeling exactly. All day, a molecule called adenosine builds up in your brain. It's the signal that says you are sleepy. But cortisol blocks adenosine at the A1 receptor, which means your body is exhausted but your brain never gets the memo. In chronic insomnia, nighttime cortisol can run 3 times normal, and that is why you lie there tired and wired at the same time. Tired body, awake brain. One hormone in the wrong place. And because bad sleep raises next-day cortisol and high cortisol destroys next night's sleep, this becomes a loop that compounds. Every night you don't break it, it gets worse. So the real question isn't how do I sleep more? It's how do I get cortisol to actually shut off? And here's the thing most protocols miss. No single intervention is enough. Because after 50, you don't have one broken system. You have 4. And that's why we need a stack. Quick question before I get into the protocol. Tell me in the comments which one hits you hardest. Is it the 2 a.m. wake up, the tired but wired feeling at bedtime, or the low energy the next morning? I read every comment. And if this is making sense so far, hit like. It tells YouTube to show this to someone else over 50 who needs it tonight. Okay, 4 steps, ordered from sunset to lights out. Each one targets a different cortisol pathway, so they stack instead of overlap. Do not skip ahead to step 4. The order matters because the later steps only work if the earlier ones prime the system. Step 1. Most people over 50 get this wrong because they think it's about blocking blue light at night. It isn't. It's about telling one part of your brain that night has started. Above your optic nerve sits a clump of neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's your master clock, and it reads one signal: light intensity on your retina. So for 10 minutes at sunset, stand outside, walk around the block, water the plants. Even on a cloudy day, outdoor light is 50 to 100 times brighter than your living room. That's the signal your clock needs to start winding cortisol down. In a 2023 trial at a Sleep Research Society session, adults 50 to 70 who did morning bright light and evening dim light dropped their total daily cortisol by up to 18%. Step 2, and this one surprises people because it sounds like it has nothing to do with sleep. It's your dinner, specifically what time you eat it and how stable it keeps your blood sugar. Here is why. If you eat a high glycemic meal at 8 p.m., your blood sugar spikes, then crashes around 2 a.m. That crash is a stressor. Your body fixes it by releasing cortisol. You wake up, you feel wired, you blame your mind, but it was your plate. So finish dinner 3 hours before bed. Pair a lean protein with a low glycemic carb. Sweet potato, quinoa, oats, lentils, not white rice, not bread, not pasta. Glycemic stability is what matters, not whether you eat carbs at all. This isn't about eating less, it's about eating stable. Big difference. Step 3, 60 to 90 minutes before bed. And I want to be specific here because the wrong form of magnesium does almost nothing. Magnesium glycinate. Not oxide, not citrate. Glycinate because the glycine molecule itself is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. It calms neurons directly, and it has a second effect most people don't know about. In a 2012 Frontiers in Neurology trial, 3 grams of glycine before bed dropped core body temperature by 0.5 degree Celsius. That temperature drop is one of the strongest physical signals your body uses to enter deep sleep. 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, 3 grams of glycine, with water. 60 to 90 minutes before lights out. In adults over 51 with poor sleep, this dose has been shown to improve sleep efficiency and lower inflammatory markers in a 2012 Magnesium Research study. If magnesium has ever given you loose stools, that was probably citrate or oxide. Glycinate is gentle. That's the whole point of the form. Step 4. This is the one I've been building toward. And this is the step that does something the other 3 cannot. It lowers cortisol in under 10 minutes. Your vagus nerve connects your brainstem to your heart, your diaphragm, and your adrenal glands. When you breathe slowly, you stimulate it. When you stimulate it, it sends a direct signal to your adrenals. Quiet down. 6 breaths per minute. Inhale 4 seconds. Exhale 6 for 10 minutes. A 2017 study in the journal Breathe measured a 10 to 15% cortisol drop after 1 session at this rate. Not after a month. After 1 session. 10 minutes. That's the entire intervention. No app required, no subscription, just a slow, counted breath. In bed, in a chair, on the floor. Whatever works. Here's why this step is last. Your light anchor told your clock. Your dinner stabilized your glucose. Your magnesium and glycine primed your neurons. But your adrenals still need one last direct signal to release cortisol's grip. Vagal breath is that signal. It's the switch the first 3 steps made possible. But here's the mistake that makes even this protocol fail. And I see it constantly. Most people try this stack for 3 nights, feel nothing dramatic, and quit. The problem is, your HPA axis did not break in 3 nights. It drifted over years. Giving it 3 nights to recover is like watering a dead plant once and wondering why it isn't green. The minimum useful trial is 14 consecutive nights, and I mean consecutive. Skipping weekends cancels the effect. Your circadian system does not know what a weekend is. The second mistake is doing 3 of the 4 steps and skipping 1. Usually people skip light, or they skip the breath because it feels too simple to matter. Both of those are the keystones. Take either 1 out and the other 3 lose most of their effect. Because this protocol is not 4 separate habits, It's one system that restores slow-wave sleep by lowering cortisol from 4 angles at once. Miss one angle, and cortisol has a door to stay in the room through. One more thing. If you are on a blood pressure medication, an SSRI, or a thyroid drug, talk to your doctor before adding supplements. This protocol is layered on top of medical care, not instead of it. If you want to go deeper on one screen, I put everything from this video for 10 minutes, plus the exact brands I trust, 3 hours before a printable nightly low glycemic, and a 7-night milligrams magnesium glycine guide called the Adrian Mercer Sleep Protocol. 60 to 90 minutes ebook, 10 minutes of vagal breath, and it's built for adults over 50. Right before you close your eyes. The link is in the description. 14 Drop your consecutive nights, and I'll send it over tonight. If you want to go deeper on why you wake up at 3 a.m. specifically, I made a whole video on that. I'll link it in the description. It's the same guide I wrote for my father when he was rebuilding his sleep. If it worked for him at 62, there's a good chance it will work for you. Subscribe and hit the bell. New sleep science every week, written specifically for bodies over 50. I'm Adrian Mercer. Tell me this, sleep well. Which of the 4 steps are you going to start with tonight? Step 1, the light. Step 2, the dinner timing. Step 3, the supplements. Or Step 4, the breath. Drop the number in the comments. I want to see where people start.